Hello there, good to have you back, and for all the new ones, my name is TipFox. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my second Davinci Resolve tutorial. Today we want to talk about an effect I recently used in a vlog of mine this year.
Roma Federer.
I think we all know this video effect from several video games, TV shows and so on, and now today we want to recreate this in Davinci Resolve. Of course, I have opened my Davinci Resolve already. I prepared a video clip of myself talking and I have chosen just a drum beat to have something to play around with. So first of all, we should drag and drop the video file, of course, in our timeline and search for a good spot to insert this effect. I want to insert the effect after I'm saying that I will cook something.
I will cook something
Here to make fun of my cooking skills, for example. So what we are doing now is we want to extend the moment of time here, so we need a still image. That's pretty easy in Davinci Resolve. We are just going in the right click context menu and there we have change clip speed. In change clip speed we can of course change the speed of the clip, but we can also freeze the time. So freeze frame means that we are making a still image of this frame of this video clip. Let's do this. And now we got our image. And this image is basically extendable in time, what we are doing next, but first we need to know how long this clip should be. And this is of course depending on the track we want to use. And I have this drum beat here, so let's go at the beginning and just check which part of the drum beat we want to have. Let's say from there to there. Of course I could drag this beat in my timeline, but I want to make sure that I'm just using those 4 beats. And for this I press O on my keyboard to set the out point, and now you see it's just this short sequence here, and I can now drag and drop this sound file in my timeline right here, and I see there is a little bit of silence in the beginning. We want to get rid of this before doing anything. So this little time frame here, Control B is cutting, and we want to use backspace to just delete this little clip without affecting any other clips in the sequence. And now we can drag our beat directly at the point, and this looks like this now. Not really special. Now it gets tricky. We have the still image, we have the beat, and now we want to animate something. We are making a right click on the clip. Now we are selecting new fusion clip, and this will create a new fusion clip and put this image inside of it. Let's do this. Nothing is looking different because we need to go in the fusion clip now, and for this we can press fusion, the fusion tab. And on the fusion tab, here we have a lot of things going on. Just close everything we don't need for now. And now we got a preview window. On the right side we have the media out, and if we want we could have on the left side the media in. What we need to do is we want to animate the person in the shot without affecting the background. So we need 2 layers of this. So copy, Control C, Control V, and we have automatically a merge node which is combining those 2 images. It's not doing anything because 2 times the same image, but this will change now. If you hover with your mouse over these little arrows here, you see if it is a background image or the background part of the merge or the foreground part of the merge. And of course we want to cut out my body in the foreground part. So let's keep this as background. We can rename it with F2, background, and this is our foreground. foreground. Okay, now we want to do something cool. We want to first change the color of the background into red. So what we are doing is selecting this background and then Control Space to open a browser for all our tools. We have also here some tools, but we want to browse for them, and you see there are so many tools in here that we really need a search bar. So we have the search bar and we want to color correct this footage with this connector. Just click Add and it is automatically between the merge and the background. We want to see the color corrector instead of just the background. And now we are going into our inspector tab on the right hand side and change something. So we wanted to have it red. Let's just do it red. And of course we can change several other parameters here, but I think this is enough. And now we can select the merge to see everything. Of course, this foreground is overlaying the color corrector. So we need to mask out something now. Masking out is done on several ways, but all the ways are connecting to this blue arrow, which means effect mask. So I am selecting foreground, Control Spacebar, and now I want to draw a spline. So it is much easier for me to cut something out. You can also add rectangles or paint a mask if you want, but we want to have a spline, a B-spline, and with this B-spline you can basically just draw a line or a mask around your object. This is what we are now doing. So now we have our mask, and I was not that precise I would be with a real video, but let's continue with this tutorial and keep it simple. What we are going next is to transform this. For transforming, there is also a node. So we are selecting the foreground, Control Spacebar, transform, and add. Now we have this node, and this node is giving us the opportunity to change the size to what we want. Now we want to animate this. And animations are with keyframes. Details are here, but we don't need it yet. We are choosing the moment in time where we want to have the peak of our animation. I would say 3/4. And we set a keyframe with this little diamond here. Wherever we are clicking, it is keyframing the property. So if we want to change the size over time, we click size. If we want to change the position over time, we click the diamond next to position or center. And now we can change the values, let's say to this, and the center. We can also use this little tool here to keep it centered. If we now add another keyframe, let's say in the beginning, also keyframing those two, and reset those changes. This is commonly 0.5. Davinci is creating the animation by itself. So if we scroll through the timeline, we see it is transforming until here. And from here, I want to go let it back. So I'm doing the same, just keyframing them. Type in 1 and 0.5. And we have the animation. Okay, so pretty simple. What we're now doing is adding text, of course, because we want to write something there. And the text should be, in my opinion, behind this mask. So we are choosing the right position where to add the text. We should add the text here, because this is the foreground of this merge node, and we want to have the text between the foreground and the background. Let's just arrange this here, and we are clicking on transform, Control Space, and we add a merge node by our own. And here we are changing the input from the background to the foreground. So let's do this. So now we are adding a text. Now we have everything set up. So the text is behind the foreground, and text and foreground are in front of the background. So now we can type in something here. Let's type in my name and the right spelling. And we can just arrange it wherever you want. We can increase the size, of course. Now we got our main title. And if we want to get crazy and have the second text with a different size, we are just clicking on the text, Control spacebar text, and add another text. Those both are combined in a merge node again, and we can give here some other details. Worst chef ever. Like this. Now we see there is a problem with our colors, but I am really not focusing on this. Let's just change the background color to something darker. Like this. Okay. And now the keyframing for the text. Pretty easy. Let's rename them before doing anything. This is title. This is subtitle. And we are going to, I don't know, the half of everything should be the text visible. So this is a keyframe for the text. With the text nodes, you have the position controls on the second tab called layout. Just click on there, set a keyframe on the center. We don't need to change anything because we are on the right position. The same with the subtitle. Set a keyframe here. And now we are going to the first frame of our clip, and we are setting them off of the screen. So they are getting displayed over time. Oops. Yeah, we can also change those values here. Like this. And the subtitle is coming from the right. So let's just drag it to the right. Like this. Now we have an automated animation, like always, over time until the keyframe 50 is coming. And I want to get a bit more crazy because this is looking pretty static. I want to add a little bounce effect. So the text is coming in, going a bit too far, and coming back. So like 50, keyframe 50 is not the right position. It is a bit off. Also the main title is a bit off. And then we are going slowly back. Let's say keyframe 70. We are going back to our desired position. Like this. So now we have this animation coming back. Okay, this is pretty cool. Now let's first animate the color corrector for the background. So if we are coming here, it should be not corrected, and then on keyframe 10, for example, it should be red. That's pretty easy, like always. We just click on the right node, click on the diamond next to the parameters we want to change. We want to change the color, and then we are going back to the point where we want to change it. And here the strength is the right control for it. So it will look like this. It's pretty slowly and stuttering because I am recording on OBS and the Fusion needs to pre-render the whole animation. But after the first run, it should look a bit better. Like this. So now this is looking pretty cool, but it is looking quite static, and we can change this static behavior by our keyframes. Not in the keyframe tab. We can watch in here. This are our keyframes. Pretty confusing, but if you need to work with it, it is quite handy. But we want to use spline. Spline are the curves of the keyframes. Now here is nothing selected, but if we select, for example, the title, we see there's a line, and we can click on this little button to zoom until it fits. Let's close the inspector. Let's make this window a bit wider, and then we are just clicking on those little keyframes here, or we just select everything. Now we want to select everything to make it easier, and we hit the key S on our keyboard, which makes a curve like this. This curve is changeable with those little connectors here. We can change the amount of speed. So for example, like this. Yeah, it's still rendering. It's really heavy for my notebook now, but it is slowly coming in and then really fast. So I think you get it. And the same we are doing with the subtitle. More. Yeah, like this. That's cool. That's cool. So this is basically everything we need to do to get this running. Now you see it is rendering the Fusion clip. This can take some time. It depends on your footage, on your effects you're doing. But now it's over, and we can just preview the clip.
I will cook something.
So of course this effect is not finished now. I would tweak some hours on it, but I think you now are able to do it by your own in your next video. If you're using Davinci Resolve, please let me know if you're using it, and if not, please let me know why not, because it is free. It is usable on also old notebooks. I don't have an old one, but I know people using Davinci Resolve 16 on 5-year-old PCs. And also, please let me know if you're excited for more of this kind of tutorials. I would be pleased to make some. If you have some suggestions of videos or effects I should recreate here in Davinci Resolve, please let me know in the comments as well. And now I want to challenge you. Just create this by your own and paste the link in the comment section of my video here. I would be pleased to see your results. And for now, nothing more to say that I know we see us back soon. Peace.